The United States will halt some shipments of air defense missiles and other weapons promised to Ukraine, the White House has said. Certain munitions were previously promised to Ukraine under the Biden administration to support its defenses. However, the Trump administration revised some of its decision, citing a concern over its own stockpile levels. Washington has repeatedly pressed for allies to provide air defense systems to Ukraine and step in with more weapon supplies. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has been weighing out the option to send Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine, but emphasized his country will not become a party to the war. The halt of some weapons could come as a serious blow to Kyiv, as Russia has been recently stepping up its aerial strikes. Nearly 5,500 drones were launched against Ukraine in June alone, a significant increase compared to previous months.
The European Commission has confirmed that the EU aims to cut its carbon emissions by 90% by 2040 in its new proposal for a climate law. It would allow member states and industries more flexibility to reach this target, including the release of new carbon credits.
And to our college.
It's a huge transition. Let's just realize that. And therefore it is of the most importance to be non-dogmatic about how to reach success. A lot has been said about the flexibilities, and let me dive into that right away. We will allow for, first, a limited amount of high-quality carbon credits outside of the European Union.
The Commission said the bloc is on its way to reach the planned 55% reduction for 2030. But environmentalists say the EU is not fully following the recommendations of its scientific advisory board with the new proposals.
Which European countries require military service for women? Following away from Northern Europe, Denmark is the latest country to introduce mixed-gender military conscription. Both men and women are now required to take part in Conscription Day, also known as Defense Day. Their participation will be determined by a lottery system, given that there aren't enough volunteers. The length of military service has also been extended from 4 to 11 months. According to a Danish researcher, the decision has been subject to debate.
Une partie de la population, et notamment des femmes, trouve cette réforme injuste, mettant en avant d'autres arguments par rapport au fait que ce sont seulement les femmes qui mettent au monde les enfants. Mais pour une grande part de la population, c'est aussi important que les femmes aient accès au service militaire à égalité des hommes.
In Europe, military service is compulsory for men in 10 countries, including in Finland, Cyprus, and Greece. The Norwegian parliament voted to extend conscription to women in 2013. It was implemented in 2016. And in Sweden, military service has been mixed since 2017.
L'armée a mis en place plusieurs mesures. Ils vont d'abord essayer de voir quelle était l'étendue des problèmes par rapport aux harcèlements sexuels et à la discrimination des femmes au sein de l'armée. Et ils ont été assez clairs que c'était des comportements qui étaient malvenus dans l'armée.
Some have also expressed to be in favor of universal military service in Latvia and Lithuania. Women are already integrated into professional armies and represent around 10% of military personnel in Europe.
Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian ordered the country to halt its cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog following a parliamentary bill on Wednesday. Last week, Iran's parliament voted unanimously on a law which suspends Iran's cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. This means the IAEA will no longer be able to verify and monitor Iran's nuclear program. This comes after Israeli and US airstrikes hit its nuclear facilities, according to state media. It is unclear how and to what extent the bill will be implemented. Following the attacks, US President Donald Trump said Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated. But nuclear watchdog Chief Rafael Grossi said Iran may be able to restart its uranium enrichment in a matter of months. On Sunday, Trump said that sanctions on Iran could be lifted if they agree to move forward in a peaceful manner. For its part, Iran has maintained its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. US President Donald Trump's new immigration center in Florida could receive its first detainees on Wednesday. This follows Trump's Tuesday visit of the facility, where he joked about detainees getting caught by snakes and alligators if they tried to escape.
We're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay? Not a good thing.
Supporters have embraced the facility as an innovative and cost-effective way for the federal government to put in place Trump's mass deportation plan. Built in just 8 days, the facility is nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz for its surrounding alligator-infested swamps. While Trump received his tour, protesters gathered outside and called it an inhumane makeshift prison camp. Meanwhile, Florida Republicans are fundraising with T-shirts and beer koozies with the detention center's name. To ease court backlogs, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis wants National Guard members deputized as immigration judges. The new center can currently house 3,000 people in dormitories, with a second one already underway, according to officials.
Judge Arun Subramanian, who presides over Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering case, has denied bail despite Wednesday's mixed verdict. Diddy's defense had earlier requested the hip-hop mogul be released on a $1 million bond while he awaits sentencing. The judge says Combs, for now, has not met the burden of showing by clear and convincing evidence a lack of danger to the public or community. A sentencing date has not yet been set, but Subramanian has called for a hearing on the 8th of July to discuss the process with the attorneys. He's also put forward October 3rd as a proposed date for the rapper's sentencing, but the defense has requested an expedited decision. On Wednesday, Diddy was acquitted of the most serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, which could have put him behind bars for decades to life. He was, however, convicted of the lesser prostitution-related offenses. Those charges carry a maximum sentence of 10 years, but Diddy's lawyers believe he will likely only face around 2 years. Prosecutors, however, are pushing for at least 4 to 5 years as they cited Combs' violence, aggressive tendencies, abusive past, and other factors. The hip-hop star has been jailed since his arrest in September. His time spent in jail leading up to the ruling will be credited and deducted from his sentence.
Μας είναι μια ιστορική μέρα, γιατί μπορέσαμε και ξανανοίξαμε το Αρχαιολογικό Μουσείο Θήρας μετά από αρκετά χρόνια και το ανοίγουμε ανακαινίζοντας πλήρως ένα πολύ σημαντικό κτίριο αρχιτεκτονικά, ένα σημαντικό δείγμα του μοντερνισμού σχεδιασμένο από τον Κωνσταντίνο Δεκαβάλα μετά τους καταστροφικούς σεισμούς του 1956. Ταυτόχρονα, μέσα στο μουσείο εγκαταστήσαμε στη νέα μόνιμη θέση της την περίφημη κόρη της θύρας που βλέπουμε πίσω μου, ένα από τα σπουδαιότερα δείγματα της αρχαίας ελληνικής πλαστικής των αρχαϊκών χρόνων.
Έχουμε τα ίδια αντικείμενα, το ίδιο αφήγημα, αλλά ο χώρος του μουσείου, η αρχιτεκτονική του, ο φωτισμός του Αυτή η ιστορία που κουβαλάει και το ίδιο το κτίριο και ο διάλογος που έχει και με την καλντέρα και με το κυκλαδίτικο φως, για να πούμε και κάτι αρκετά κοινότοπο, διαμόρφωσαν την έκθεση τελώς διαφορετικά.
Well, I saw the first preview. I haven't seen it since, actually, and it really worked very, very well. And I'm understanding now that the crowds coming to see it are, really getting quite large. Within the theatre, it's really exciting because suddenly you see her with a genuine huge crowd, which you can't do on stage. I mean, I think there will be people who are disappointed that she hasn't sung it live in the theatre, but I think it's going to be greatly outweighed by the theatricality of using film in that way.